Hi guys, you're welcome to my channel again. My name is Adora, and if you're just seeing this face for the first time, thank you very much for stopping by. I have been snoozing around looking for gists, and as usual, I do bring true life stories of what happens to people in the UK. So this time around, I was able to dig out one very trending gist, and this one is so I have been snoozing around recently, trying to dig up some real life stories, as I usually do on this channel, and I came up with one, and this one is actually really trending, and it's also very important for people who are moving into the country. If you're moving in as a couple, I think you should be able to discuss whatever you want, discuss how you want your future to be, discuss how you want your marriage to be, discuss how you see yourself going in the next 5, 10, 15 years and all that. Try and sit down and talk about it before you even make that big move, because most times when you just move in to your new country, it's so overwhelming that you might not have the time to sit down and plan things, like you're just carried away with everything that happens around you. You're carried away with the new environment, you're carried away with the culture shock, you're carried away with new friends, you're just carried away. So you might not really have time to sit down and discuss, have this your intimate discussion one-on-one as husband and wife, or girlfriend and boyfriend, whatever it is you have together. So this particular gist now, it's about this couple, and they just moved down to the UK, and they have been in the UK now for about 11 months, almost getting to 12 months, 11 months and a few days. So when they were in Nigeria, they had a very good relationship going on. They had this peace within them. Like, people used to use their marriage as an example, like to set good examples on how marriages should be. Like, some people will be like, don't you see Mr. and Mrs. so-and-so's marriage? Don't you see how they've been together for so many years? Do you think they don't have challenges? But they're still going on strong. They're still doing this. Why don't you emulate them? Why don't you be like them? So people used to use this couple's marriage to motivate other people, even to motivate themselves. So they moved over to the UK. Mind you, they had been married for 11 years. They moved over to the UK, and they tried, they've been trying to settle down. It's not really easy when you try to settle down. You have children. In the first place, you come in, you try to sort your accommodation out, you try to sort out the children's schools, the medicals, everything. So many things involved. Relocation is not easy. So it took them a while to be able to put things in order. And while they were doing all this, coming from, a country where they had good jobs, they had the money, they had people doing things for them, and now they're over in the UK doing everything by themselves. So the whole stress of going to look for this one, going to look for a house, going to buy this one, going to sort out school matter, making calls, attending appointments and all that, everything really overwhelmed. Everything stressed them out so much. So before they knew what was happening, husband and wife started quarreling, they started having issues because they were stressed out, and they didn't have any other person to do these things for them, so they had to do it themselves. So that was where the problem actually started from, because they were not used to this kind of things. They lived a life where they were assigning all these kind of things to people. They lived a life where they had staff, they had workers, they had employees who ran their errands for them. But here they are doing all these things by themselves. So it was just a bit too much for them, and they couldn't really cope. So what happened? The man really got stressed out. The woman got stressed out, and each time they come back home, it's always, shouting, quarreling, arguing and all that. And this was a bit new to them, because they haven't really had this kind of confrontations in a very long time when they were back home. So for them to be going through all this now, and children involved, it was really taking a toll on the whole family as a whole. But they had to keep moving, because there's nothing they can do. They have to patch things up. So after a while, lady got a job, the man got a job. Then jobs, their shifts were clashing. Sometimes the woman will go to work and then she has to come back for the man to go on his own shift. And sometimes maybe before she gets home, traffic, and maybe she's trying to get a taxi, delay in taxi coming over to pick her, and then she joining the traffic and all that. Before she gets home, the man is already fuming, he's angry because he's already getting late to work himself, and immediately she gets back home, the man is leaving. Sometimes they don't even talk to each other, they just walk past themselves at the gates. They will quarrel on the phone while the man is calling her, where are you, where are you, where are you, where are you, I'm going late, I'm running late. And she's like, I'm on my way. And immediately she gets home, they just walk past each other. The man takes his taxi to work and the woman goes in to sleep. So this is how they've been actually living their lives. There were a lot of things, a lot of factors that were now bringing up issues between them. Sometimes it could even be something as little as £1. A pound, £1. Like on one occasion when the man said the woman was hoovering the house and she mistakenly sucked, the hoover mistakenly sucked in £1. And the woman was like, but it's just £1. And the man was like, do you know how much £1 is? That is about 700 naira? Do you know how much a pound is? Do you think I steal this money? Do you think I do this, I do that? So after a while, it was becoming too much for them. Like this whole thing, it kind of blew out of proportion and they were just trying to cope. But one day, the man came and sat the woman down and said, you know what, we've been going through a lot for some time now, and I'm no longer comfortable with these arguments back and forth, arguing in the morning, arguing in the night. We don't even have time to discuss as a couple. There's no peace. So the man said, when there's no peace in the home, communication is not possible. So for us to be able to come back to the point where we used to be, where we used to have fun, we used to be happy together as a family, that I would like you to step down, stop working, stay at home with the kids, take care of the kids while I go out there and I go out there and work. Don't worry. Because he was trying to do this to reduce the stress in the house, because he felt the woman was going through a lot of stress. He cannot go to work and face stress and come back, and the woman will also come back from work stressed out, and they're clashing together all the time. So he told the woman, for me to be able to relieve you of this burden, of this stress, and to restore peace into this home, let me work, let me do full time, you stay at home and look after the children. And they agreed, because it actually sounded like a reasonable advice. It sounded like something that was worth trying, at least for the peace of the home. So the woman stepped down. She was looking after the kids, she was doing the school run, she was taking care of the home. So they continued. But not long after this, trouble started to brew again. Now, this new phase of trouble was that, or rather is that, because it's a recent thing, is that the man was now becoming overworked. He was becoming tired, too stressed out. And the worst part of it is that his complaint now is that sometimes he doesn't even know where the money is going to. Like month end, he'll be looking for, where is all this money gone to? Because by the time he pays, the rent is gone, council tax is gone, water bill is gone, internet is gone, phone bill is gone, he was now driving, you have to buy fuel is gone, fuel money is gone, car insurance is gone. There is a lot that leaves at the end of the month. And by the time all this money is taken, you are left with almost nothing. And don't forget, you have to buy food. At least you have to do your weekly or monthly shopping. The kids are there. They might need one or two things at school. There's just a lot of things going on. And they have family back home looking up to them, asking for, help, financial aid and all that. So one day this man sat down and was like, what's happening? Where is all this money going to? Like, he does not understand. He can't. And then that's when I said, welcome to UK. UK has finally happened to you. What he was complaining about is not strange. We all face these things. We all experience it from time to time. Sometimes you go to work, you work from beginning of the month to the end of the month, and when the money comes, you're like, is this by the time the tax is deducted, the NI, everything is deducted, you're like, what am I left with? And you haven't started paying your bills, oh. You have not started, the direct debit has not started going out, oh. You're already complaining. By the time the direct debit goes out, all of your direct debit goes out, you now check your balance. You will feel like crying. So then this man began to have a different kind of stress, began to feel very, very uncomfortable again, because he couldn't just understand why the money was going like that. And the worst part of it now is that he is the only person working. So the whole stress was actually telling on him. So now he didn't know how to actually talk to his wife and say, okay, honey, I'm getting very much overworked, stressed out, and it's like, with all my hard work, I can't really see anything to hold on to, or to say, yes, this is what we have to save, or this is what we're going to invest in, or this is, it's just all about working and paying the bills, working and direct debits, eating them up. Do you think you should go back to work? So when he raised this question to the wife, the woman was like, I'm not too sure, because taking care of the children at home is enough work. I cannot go to work and come back and still look after the kids. It's going to really stress me out. And the man was like, yes, I understand, Initially, I was the one who told you to stop work so that you can look after the kids. But now, because of what I'm going through, because of this whole financial burden on me, I need support, I need help. I need you to be able to assist me. Even if you have to take up part-time jobs, let there just be a second stream of income coming into the home. And the woman was like, anyway, I'll think about it. So he gave her time. Days passed, weeks passed, and she did not bring up any response. And then he had to ask her, honey, how far with what we discussed last time now? And the woman was like, I don't think I want to work. I just want to take care of the kids. That taking care of the kids is enough stress on its own. So let me just, and that was where the man lost it. And he was like, listen, we have to be able to get back to the way we started, the way we were managing in the beginning. We have to work. You go to work, I go to work. When you're at work, I look after the kids. And when I'm at work, you do the same thing. That's the only way we can cope. Because I can't be working. And at the end of it, there's nothing. Sometimes, according to him, sometimes he will go to work, he'll work at the end of the month. When he checks his balance, what he sees left there is about maybe £200 or £150 after all expenses has been taken. This is not a way to live. This is not how you intend to secure your future. This is not how you intend to take care of the home, especially when you have kids. There's a lot of things you have to put into consideration. So he explained to the woman, and he wanted her to really see reasons with him. But Madame was not just changing. She stood her ground. She said she's not working. She said she is not working. That in the first place, that how does he expect her to go to work and they will be sharing bills? That what makes him a man if he cannot settle all of the bills? That after all, in Nigeria, he was doing that. After all, in Nigeria, he was paying the rent, he was paying the school fees of the kids, he was doing everything. So what has changed? So the man knew that he was on his own, because at this point he knew the woman has actually stood her ground and she was not ready to change. So this has been a recurring problem that this couple is actually facing at the moment, because the woman is not ready to change and the man is getting really, really stressed out. He's getting so much, the stress of the work of the job is telling on him. You seeing him and then seeing his old pictures when he just came into the UK, is a far cry from what it is now. He has seriously changed. And if he could change like that physically, only God knows what's happening to his mental health. So that is the story on ground now. Honestly, if relocating to UK, relocating to anywhere in the world as a couple, as a family, is very, very much different from when you're relocating on your own. It's different from when you're moving to another country. As a single person, because when you're moving as a single person, you are not liable to anyone. You're not responsible. Your lifestyle, your life, your decisions, your future, everything lies in your hands. You are not answerable to anyone. You do what you want to do at your own convenient time. But when you are in a relationship, or you are married, when you have a family, it's not just about you. There's certain things you have to put into consideration. There's certain things you have to sort out before you make that major move. And a lot of people, I believe, do not really do this. So when they just move into a different environment, it becomes a whole lot of stress. It becomes a whole lot of delicate situation for them. Like, this is a marriage now that has been on for about 11 years, and yes, I know every relationship, every marriage has challenging times, has times like this when but the marriage, the way it is right now, the level which it has actually deteriorated to, I just hope they do not fall out, do not separate, break up, because it's so bad now that they stay days together and they do not talk to each other. The whole pressure of the whole thing, the whole stress is eating them up. So that's why I always advise people, before you move into any country, always try and sit down, talk things out, discover yourselves more. You might be surprised to know that the person you've known back home for 20, 30 years might be a different person entirely when you go abroad. When you change environments, the person might just be completely different or completely strange to you. So these are the things you need to iron out before you step out of your country. So thank you very much for watching this video, and hopefully if there's any update about this story, I'll always let you know. Thank you very much, and God bless you. Stay blessed.